What's up, Dunkaholics? It's Wayne Duncan, No Vision Duncan, and we're back with year 5 of the Madden 24 New Orleans Saints realistic rebuild. If you tune in to part 4, we finished 8 and 9. We were a couple of games away from being over 500, maybe even a couple of games of making the playoffs for the first time in this realistic rebuild. It was the first year for the new head coach, No Vision Duncan, not me. I'm Wayne Duncan, but No Vision Duncan. Him and his staff did a great job their first year with a rookie quarterback under center. And I think here in year 5, where it's a Super Bowl or nothing, I think they could get it done here in the final season. But we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's meet the roster, the squad, the team here before the final preseason. At quarterback, we have our second year quarterback, Lawrence Whitfield, who won Offensive Rookie of the Year in his first year as the starting quarterback. 4,000 yards, broke the 4,000 yard thrush mark. He almost had 30 touchdowns. He had 28, 12 interceptions. A little too high. I don't like anything over 10, but he was a rookie. It was his first year. 64 completion percentage, and he averaged almost 236.6 yards per game. Got sacked only 26 times, so a great first season for him. He even went up dev trait, got that shiny silver star dev trait, got off that Bourne Brown that we drafted him as, and it would prove that, if you get Brown normal dev players in the draft, you can turn them into stars. You can turn them into superstars. You can turn them into X factors. You can even turn him into a superstar within 1 year. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Still got Geno Smith as the veteran backup quarterback to continue to mentor Lawrence Whitfield. At running back, which has been one of our major issues on offense, we went from the Alvin Kamaras, the Jamal Williams, the Kendre Millers, or now we're switching over to Andrew Hamilton going into his third season with us as our power back. But we got this guy, Russell Van Buren. I like to call him RVB. Already got a nickname here in New Orleans. We needed a running back. We took the top running back on the board in the first round, so he had a hidden dev, and I think we're going to start him right away and try to get our first 1,000-yard rusher in this realistic rebuild. Brought in Ezekiel Elliott to be that bridge player, mentor, third running back. And then fullback, we got Cody Teague, still our superstar, still a superstar fullback in my eyes, regardless if they robbed him of his depth trait. At wide receiver, he's been my favorite player this whole rebuild. Now superstar X Factor, Chris Olave. I call him Mr. Consistent because look how consistent he has been in this rebuild. 2023, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns, Pro Bowl season, another Pro Bowl season, another Pro Bowl season. Then last season, led the league in catches and yards, 110 catches, 1,500 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns, ties his career high. Chris Olave has been magnificent in this whole rebuild. We haven't been able to find him a partner since we lost Michael Thomas, but even then, he has been thriving in this offense, in this Saints playbook, and even though we probably should have did a better job of getting him, a partner as a top wide receiver too, even. He's been doing his thug, man. He's been doing his thug. Matthew Grant, though, had a great rookie season last season. He was runner-up in Offensive Rookie of the Year behind our quarterback, Lawrence Whitfield. But 60 catches, 755 yards, 6 touchdowns. He can be a wide receiver, too. I don't know if we have enough time to develop him as our wide receiver, too. But we're still going to try. And then we got Eric Ellis, who was our return man. We got Ben Pritchett, who we drafted last year as like our big body, throw it in the end zone receiver. And then we got this guy, Jose Strickland, who we just drafted. And then some other guys down there. At tight end, we got Roman Whiteside going into his second season. He was in that same draft class last year with our wide receiver Grant and our quarterback Whitfield. He had a great rookie season at tight end. I think he was on the Offensive Rookie of the Year list, along with our receiver and our quarterback. 50 catches, almost 600 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. Not bad. Not bad. Still got DeMarcus Bayless, and we drafted another tight end. So a young tight end room. At tackle, still got Trevor Penning. Guard, we still have Raphael Stevenson. He was a great first-round pick. At center, we got Eric McCoy. Right guard, Cesar Ruiz. Still got Saul DeVary, who made the Offensive Lineman of the Year list as our long snapper. Long snappers matter. At right tackle, we got Ryan Ramczyk. And then defensive end, we got Isaiah Foskey, who through this whole rebuild, I would say he's been just okay. I mean, he's been great stopping the run with the TFLs. I would like to see more sacks out of him and see if he can get back to that 5, 6, 7, 8 sacks. Even try to get double digits. We brought back Romeo Aquara to be the backup. We got Niles Wilkins going into his final year of his contract, but this is the final year, the season finale of the Saints Madden 23 realistic rebuild. We brought in Logan Hall, former Buck, try to get some insight on their playbook. See if he can show us some hand signals that they use. Even got Brian Brzee and Max Baber, who have been my favorite pair here in this rebuild. Superstar dev Brian Brzee, who made the Pro Bowl last season with 24 TFLs, 4.5 sacks. So salute to him. And then Max Baber, Mr. All 400 pounds, got his superstar dev back that he had as a rookie. They knocked him down to star for no reason, but we got him back up to his gold boy with 18 TFLs, 6 sacks. He had more sacks than Brian Brzee. And we brought in David Onyemata back, who pitched in with, I think he had 3 sacks. Yeah, he had 3 sacks, even as our defensive tackle 3. So shout out to David Onyemata, bringing him back. And left out, drafted this guy, Darnell Klein, but look at this. We ran out of time, I think, during the draft, like in the 5th, 6th round, wherever this guy was drafted. And Raheem Fitzsimmons, even though at a 62, hidden dev. So I know the game knows what they be doing. So shout out, salute the AI for hooking me up with Raheem Fitzsimmons. Left outside linebacker still got Stephon Milner. We brought in Tyreek Smith, go Hawks, to be the backup left outside linebacker. Also went to Ohio State. We know the Saints love Ohio State players. Devin Bush, who was our first free agent signing back in year 1. He's just been okay. He's actually been getting outplayed by Stephon Milner and Bobby Snow. So I know he plays for my Hawks, but he was a former Steeler. But we got this guy, Juan Hicks, who we just drafted, who is a hidden dev, and I think I'm going to start him this rookie year. So that kind of makes Devin Bush kind of like not a cap casualty, because we would lose a little bit of money if we were to trade or release him. But it kind of makes Devin Bush a little bit expendable. Could keep him, but I'm going to throw him in the trade block, see what we get for him. Like I said, we got Bobby Snow. We got this guy, Jonathan Matlock, who we just drafted, pass coverage linebacker. So we have a lot of depth at linebacker. Corner, we got Marshawn Lattimore, but this guy, what a story this was for him. Josh Eubanks last season was a normal dev, 74 overall corner. He went up dev trait, I think, in season, got the silver shiny star dev trait, and then because of his performance, 94 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a pick, got all the way up to superstar dev in 1 year. Now he is a 22-year-old, 81 overall superstar dev corner. When we thought he was a normal dev, it was a little deflating. I ain't gonna cap. It was a little deflating when I saw that boring brown-ass dev trait. We turned him into a superstar within 1 year. That's why I said, don't get too caught up on the dev traits when you draft these players. Take some time out and try to develop them if you can. And you can turn him into superstars. Hell, he could even possibly be a superstar X factor by the end of the season. We still got Alontae Taylor, who I am going to throw up on the trading block just to see what type of value we could get for him, because we have Hugh Banks, we have Marshawn Lattimore, and we also got this guy, DeAndre Whitfield, who we just drafted, who pops at a 76 hidden dev overall. So we just have a lot of depth at corner. We want to get Whitfield on the field as our slot corner. So kind of makes Alontae Taylor, put him in that same boat with Devin Bush, becomes a little bit expendable. We still got Brian Beckham here, who got screwed. I ain't gonna cap, he got screwed, because when we drafted him, he was a hidden dev, star dev, and then he didn't really play that much his first year, and he went down to normal dev, and kind of the opposite career that Hugh Banks is having. We drafted Hugh Banks as the normal dev, and we developed him to a superstar. We drafted Brian Beckham as a star, really didn't get the playing time, so he really get a chance to develop. Plus, they stripped him of the dev trait, which slowed his development down. But we've kept him on the team. He's been a great cornerback for though, and he actually You know we love our 4 or 5 corners. Had 2 picks last season. So shout out to Brian Beckham. Free safety, Honey Badger. He's been here the whole rebuild. And he actually had a superstar dev season last season too, but I think they knocked him back down to normal dev because he is 35 years old. But Honey Badger, he was balling this rebuild. He has been balling this whole rebuild. He had 4 picks last season, Pro Bowl season, 83 tackles. So great season for him. But Luis Garcia, who we just drafted, we got a lot of hidden devs in this last draft here. Wish we had more time to develop him, but he will be possibly like a star. Might even see a superstar. Sometimes I see low overalls like that be a superstar dev, and they just be sitting on the dev chart high and out, and you don't know that you got them. And we got Buda Baker, the big trade that we made back in year 1 or year 2, to pair him back up with Tyrann Mathieu, and then kicker man Blake Group A. I call him Group or Group A because I don't know how to pronounce it. But look at the last 2 seasons, bro. The first season, his rookie season, missed 5, had 2 blocked field goals. Then he improved. The next season, only missed 4 field goals, 80%, 1 blocked field goal. The season after that, no blocks. Longest was a 56-yarder, tied his career high in 2023. 91%, only missed 1 field goal, 11-12. And then last season, repeating it. 18 of 19, going up to 94%, 57 yards, no block, made all his extra points. So when you see the trend, he improves in made field goals every year. He improves in field goal percentage every year. He improves in field goal long every season. Shout out, salute, congrats, Blake, Group or Group A. Kickers matter. And then our punter, going into his second season, Kerry Ziegler. And another thing I did in year 4, part 4, was the training camp. I know I said I was going to save it for a realistic franchise, but why not, man? It's a feature. You know, in these rebuilds, it's more simulation. In the realistic franchise, y'all see me playing the gameplay, but I got to give y'all a little bit of gameplay. Plus, we haven't made the playoffs. Usually in the playoffs, I do the Super Sum. We might hop in, play the key moments, but we haven't been able to do that. It's been a playoff drought. So we're going to hop in here. And we got Whitfield a star. Last season we did this to try to get him from normal to star. Let's try to see if we can get a superstar dev trait here in this first training camp in the target passing with our new young franchise quarterback. And he did really well when we did this mini camp drill last season. We were able to get gold. I love hitting the target right in the middle, and he is really accurate, and he has an arm on him. Big arm and accurate, a little athletic. Yeah, able to throw the ball across his body. I think he's going to have an even better sophomore season, especially with that new dev trait. And this last one should do it. This should give us gold. We can... And we get gold. Most likely going to be just a skill point. Yeah, and we don't get a dev trait. Let's go to the rushing attack. We're going to use RVB, our first round rookie running back, who's going to start this season. Unless he just has a terrible preseason. And he's really short. He kind of looking like Darren Sproles out there. Y'all remember Darren Sproles? Played on the Saints, Chargers for a little bit. Wasn't Darren Sproles? Yeah, he started with the Chargers. Russell Van Buren, we're still looking for a rusher. It's crazy that we couldn't get 1,000 yards when we had Alvin Kamara. That's what ultimately led us to feel like we just had to trade him away. Wasn't getting the production. And I told y'all it's about production with me. If you're a normal dev player but you're producing and we're winning with you, I'll give you a chance. And like I said, this is as real as it gets when it comes to realistic. And with that tackle, we may have just gotten screwed out of the gold. Oh, I tried to get there. I'm not gonna try again. I'm gonna take my silver. I ain't gonna cheat the system. And that might be the last one we do. We might do I think I'm gonna do wide receiver. We'll do chase and tackle because I didn't do it. And we'll do the hidden dev middle linebacker Juan Hicks. I didn't do this one. I think it was the only one I didn't do. And the other defensive back one. So we'll do this one. And this one, sometimes I screw myself over, always going for the hit stick. I'm addicted to, this right analog. I've always been like that when I play Madden. Go for the big hits. That time just going with the safe tackle. Ah, see? Plus, I think going forward with the other rebuilds, we will show some of the training camps because, I mean, I do want to see, all the teams. I want to play training camp or mini camp with all the teams and not just the team that we do the realistic franchise with. Oh, Stains get in my way. With this drill, I'm good at it sometimes, and then sometimes, sometimes the running back turn up on you too at the end. We might not even get bronze, bro. Okay, there we go. As soon as I said it. Made him fumble. Big hit. Ah! Maybe we should keep Devin Bush. Nah, but this guy can tackle. He can hit. And we get bronze. I'm going to take it. I don't cheat the system. And with our rookie corner, I am going to do the drill that I didn't do last season. I know I could easily do the other one, but we're going to try the hard one, man. We're going to challenge ourselves. Let's do, what was his name? DeAndre Whitfield. Let's do the red zone battle. Now, this one is like the hardest mini camp drill. You just got to kind of, got to guess the route, man. Just got to guess the route. All right, that's and I still couldn't stop him. Are you serious, bro? Bruh. I guessed it the last 2 times and still couldn't stop him. He damn near caught that one. Ah. Yeah, we getting dusted in this one. Getting straight up dusted in this one. Still get credit for the tackle. There we go. Might even be able to pull off silver if we can. Ah, he got me. Once you get lost, that's it. We're going for the hit stick. We'll take it. And let's simulate the preseason. So we'll see if we're going to make the playoffs here. Make the postseason in Gear 5. We'll take the little 1500 XP. But we're not going to waste no more time doing those. Let's simulate the first preseason game against the Raiders. We do lose 17-21. And Whitfield was okay. No touchdowns, no picks. Geno threw a pick, so he will be the backup quarterback. Can't be throwing picks against the second team. And look at this. Van Buren gets his first touchdown, first preseason game. Geno gets a rushing touchdown. And offensive line. No sacks from the defense, no picks from the defense. Group A making his field goal, and we move on to the next game. I don't think we have any. Oh, we got some trade offers for Devin Bush, so let's see what they're offering. I'm looking for a wide receiver, like a big time wide receiver. Tyler Lockett, my boy. Laviska Shenault. I think in the final preseason week, I'm going to pull off a big trade for a wide receiver. But let's simulate week 2 against the Jaguars before we do that. And we lose. Fall to 0-2. If we go 0-3, it could be like a backwards good luck. Whitfield touchdown and a pick. 50 yards for RVB. Touchdown for Hamilton. Touchdown for Ellis. Sack for Logan Hall, who we just brung in. And Group A remains, man, he is so accurate, bro. So accurate. And we have a training camp standout. I think last season it may have been Brian Brzee or one of the defensive ends. And this time it is Bobby Snow, our right outside linebacker. And we're going to go with tackling. 5+ tackling for Mr. Bobby Snow. Final preseason game before we make our final cuts. And we do go 0-3, so maybe we have a winning season. We go undefeated in the regular season. But touchdown and a pick for Whitfield, kind of like the last game. And Nick Chubb ran all over us. Touchdown for Hamilton, 34 yards for Russell Van Buren, who seems to be our leading rusher in the preseason. I like seeing that because he will be starting. 3 sacks for Josh Uche. Sack for Max Baber. No picks from our secondary. And then Group A. Okay, he misses, but it is in the preseason, so it doesn't count. Doesn't count. Still a 90% field goal percentage kicker. And I said I was going to make a big trade, and I'm going to look to do that right now. I played around with the trade finder a little bit before I started recording this video, and I think what we're going to do, we're going to ship off Alontae Taylor, and we're going to ship off Devin Bush, and we're going to ship off a first-round pick because we're not going to be able to use it. Not going to be able to use it, and I'll give up a future second. And let's see what we can get. So Javonte Williams, we don't need. Terry McLaurin. Get him out of Washington. A.J. Brown. Garrett Wilson. Devontae Adams could make sense because, you know what? We actually might do that. In real life, it's been reported that him and others like Max Crosby, they want the Raiders to start winning right now. And when you think about this, he went to the Raiders from the Packers to play with his best friend, Derek Carr. We had Derek Carr as our quarterback on the Saints. So even at the age of 34, you know what? I'm going to do this. Devontae Adams, even though we don't have Derek Carr, welcome to the team. We get a partner for Chris Olave, and that's 2 cuts. But we add Devontae Adams, so we do have to cut 10 players still. Let's check out the final preseason stats as Whitfield. I mean, he was just okay. RVB, Hamilton, they're going to be our 1-2 punch at running back. We got Devontae Adams. I guess this is what he did with the Raiders: 10 catches, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. We get another weapon for our young quarterback. Hicks was our lead in middle linebacker, so that's why we got rid of Devin Bush. Whitfield was our lead in, well, he tied with Humphrey. He was our lead in corner when it comes to tackles. So Alontae Taylor, see, Beckham played well. Sack for Baber and Logan Hall. No picks from the defense. Group A only missed 1, so now it's time to make our cuts. We might have to bring Derek Carr in as a backup quarterback, bring him back to the team. But I'm going to cut these running backs down here. Just don't need them. Just don't want them. Dude wearing Deuce McAllister's old jersey number. Let's put Ronald Morris here. Cut him. Went to USC just like Reggie Bush, huh? Speaking of Reggie Bush, we have an Alex Bush as I'm talking about Reggie Bush. That's funny. Then receivers. So we get Chris Olave. We have Chris Olave, and now we have Devontae Adams, 2 X Factor receivers, another weapon for our young quarterback. And let's look at Devontae Adams, see how he looked in a New Orleans Saints jersey. Doesn't look that bad. Probably should have did that trade like when we had Derek Carr still in year 2. Probably a move we should have made. And Grant can now be our slot. We got Ellis, our returner, Pritchett, our big body, Strickland, our rookie. So these guys down here, Osgood, can get released. And then Cannon, he can get released. We should have 3 tight ends. We do have a bunch of extra guards here. So Rayshawn Hobson, he can go on the PS. And so can Dom Gilkey. We should have our defensive ends. We should have our defensive tackles. We're going to keep all the defensive tackles. This Peck guy here, he can get released. And then these linebackers, CJ Stroder, he can get released. And usually we have a bunch of corners. Did they even release them? Okay, they did. And then corner, I like how Humphrey played. This Pleasant guy down here, he can go on the PS. Even though he has a skill point. So can Dylan Jacobs. And then we should be set at safety. Yeah, we're set. So that should be all the cuts. We shouldn't have to make any more. Yeah, so we're good. So we're going to upgrade the team, adjust the lineup, set up the depth chart the way we want it. Whitfield got 2 points. We'll just auto upgrade everybody. He is what he is right now. Strong arm quarterback. Let's adjust the lineup and set up the depth chart and get ready for year 5. Well, we have to make the playoffs. And once we get to the playoffs, even though it'll be our first time, going to try to go on a Super Bowl run. I don't know why I always go to manage team and not manage roster. Trying to relocate. So our quarterback 1 will be Lawrence Whitfield. We're going to start Russell Van Buren with Hamilton and Ezekiel Elliott, Cody Teague, Zeke, and Hunter Clark. Receiver Chris Olave, Adams, Grant, Ellis, Pritchett. I might put Pritchett as our wide receiver 4. We need a big body in there. Let's do that. Let's put Pritchett right there. Because Ellis is going to get kick return reps, and then Strickland down there. He will also be like another returner. Offensive line should be set. Defensive end should be set. The defensive tackle should be set up right. Milner, Tyreek Smith, Hicks. Yeah, so that's all fine. Corner. Marshawn, Eubanks, Whitfield, Beckham, Humphrey, free safety. I actually might put Garcia right here with Humphrey. Actually, we'll leave it like that. Garcia has that hidden dev trait. Then we'll do Beckham right there. And then we'll do, instead of Null, I'm going to put Garcia over here so he can get a little bit more reps. And then kick return, they have Grant, they have Russell Van Buren. But we're going to go with the rookie Strickland. We're going to go with Ellis. We're going to go with Humphrey. Actually, I'm going to go Humphrey and Strickland. Actually, Ellis and Humphrey. And then punt return can be Grant and Strickland. Kickoff start will be Group A. Long snapper is going to be my boy Saul DeVary. Third down back is going to be Van Buren and Zeke. Power back will be Hamilton, Zeke, and Russell Van Buren. Slot receiver will be, they have Devontae Adams. We're going to go Grant. We're going to go with, we'll go with Pritchett and then Strickland. Left end should be Foskey. It'll go Logan Hall. Right end should be, they have Bobby Snow. What are they doing? Wilkins, Okwara, Logan Hall. And then D tackle will be Brazee, Anyamata, and Baber. I didn't put Logan Hall in there. He is 283, but I might have had 3 sacks last season, so we'd give him another chance. And then Miller, Matlock, and Hicks. Why did they have Matlock? We're gonna go Bobby Snow, Stephon Miller, and Juan Hicks. Slot corner will be DeAndre Whitfield, Beckham, and Roy Humphrey, but we're gonna put Garcia right there. And that is the final lineup. Let's take a look at the team before week 1. Devin Bush shouldn't have any trade offers because now he is a member of the Las Vegas Raiders. So our season goal, Super Bowl or bust. We are 84 overall, 84 defense, 84 offense. We don't have to worry about the draft class. Don't have to worry about... actually, it can't stand out. Wasn't it one of our linebackers? Was it Bobby Snow? Yeah, it was Bobby Snow. So here's our sub linebacker 1. He could hit that scenario. I know usually we don't get it. But see if we can win week 1 against the 84 overall Houston Texans. We have our first game at home. And we actually win to go 1-0. We're already over 500. 31-21, high scoring game. We ran the ball for 100 yards, passed for 300, no turnovers. And look at that. You had Devontae Adams. See, one thing I noticed about the simulation this year in Madden 24 is I like how if in years past, like if you have a sorry ass quarterback on the Bucks or Saints or any team that, you know, throws the ball a lot, they're going to go off regardless of overall. It seems to me now the overalls for the quarterback really matter, but if you can get them some weapons at wide receiver, you can get them superstars at X factor receiver, tight ends, and running backs, it actually helps that quarterback play better in the simulation. We get Devontae Adams. Look what Lawrence Whitfield does in his first game. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks, 24-32. C.J. Stroud played well. Russell Van Buren, 42 yards in his first game. Zeke, old man Zeke, getting in there with a touchdown. And then Lawrence Whitfield, told you he's a little athletic, almost ran for 30 yards on 8 carries. Hamilton got 8 carries as our power back. Our fullback got a carry, using all of our running backs. Receiver, it was Grant, though. See, Grant was our wide receiver 2 last year, but he's a slot wide receiver. Now he can play his natural role. 7 catches, 123, 2 touchdowns. They got a guard, Chris Olave, who still had a touchdown with only 40 yards. They got a guard, Devontae Adams, and Olave now. They forgot about the runner-up for the Rookie of the Year last year in Matthew Grant. And we got our young developing tight end and Roman Whiteside, who had 5 catches. So this offense is looking... right. Stephon Miller, half a sack. Brian Brzee, half a sack. Where is Eric Snow? Bobby Snow. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Eric Snow. Eric Snow was shooting guard for the Philadelphia 76ers a while back. No picks, just like the preseason. Group A. Never misses a field goal. And we are 1-0 headed into week 2. We take on the Atlanta Falcons, who won the division, I think, every year. They definitely won it last year, and we get Whitfield as a player of the week, week 1. As why do I keep having 2 open spots on my roster? I'm cutting way too many people. Every team in the division 1-0 after week 1. Can we beat the Falcons? They've been the juggernauts of the NFC South this whole rebuild, and we lose to them. We just can't get over the hump. Falcons playbook is really good, though. We had 3 turnovers, 2 picks. 2 of those 3 turnovers were from Whitfield. No sacks, though, from the offensive line. Bijan, we just couldn't stop. Van Buren, 70. I think we're going to get that first 1,000-yard rusher this season. Touchdown for Ezekiel Elliott. Chris Olave with a TD. No picks from our secondary still. 2 for 2 for Group A. And we are 1-1, still early on. Would like to have won that game, though. We do have an injury. Please be nobody in Paul, man. It's Zeke. But without Ezekiel Elliott, we win against the Panthers. What is that, in overtime? Actually didn't go to OT. We were down 21-7 going in the fourth quarter. We shut them out. We scored 13. They scored none. We're actually running the ball. Only turned the ball over one time. 327 yards, 3 touchdowns. We did give up 3 sacks, but he was 27 to 34, and we could not run the ball because we don't have Ezekiel Elliott. But a touchdown for RVB. Grant probably was going to be our leading receiver this season. 2 touchdowns for our tight end. Touchdown for Hamilton. Guard gave up 2 sacks, no sacks, and then we get our first pick of the season, Marshawn Lattimore. Who else? And Group A does miss a field goal, but it is a extra pointer, and we are 2-1, trying to build off of last season's success, or exceeding the expectations that we did last season. We got the 1-2 Bears coming to town, and we go to 3-1. As we prepare for our division game against the Bucks. We already beat the Panthers. We lost to the Falcons 42-14. We put it on them, almost dropped 40. We did drop 40 on their heads. Over 100 yards rushing, no turnovers, 2 touchdowns, no picks, man. Lawrence Whitfield just slanging it. 2 touchdowns for RVB, touchdown for our fullback Cody T, who's going to get more carries now that Ezekiel Elliott is out. Devontae 77, Grant with 76, Chris Olave with damn near 70, and a touchdown for Whiteside. I love that we're spreading the ball to all of our wide receivers and our tight end. Our running backs are getting some action. Bobby Snow gets the pick. Buda Baker gets the pick. I forgot to even click on the scenario to see if Bobby Snow hit the scenario, but probably wasn't poised enough. Probably was not poised enough. 3-1. The Bucks stand alone at 1-3 at the bottom of the division. Feels like a trap game, and it is actually not, as we have an early bye week. We go to 4-1, but of course when we're 4-1, the Panthers and the Falcons are also 4-1. They have Will Levis now as their quarterback. RVB and Hamilton splitting the carries. They go over 100 yards together. Devontae Adams 69 yards and a touchdown. Grant having a great season. He's going to be the one to have the breakout season. Why is our backup right tackle starting over Ryan Ramczyk? That's what I want to know. Stephon Milner with the pick. Group 3 for 3. We are 4-1. We're at the bye week. We don't have to worry about any contracts. We don't have to worry about any draft class or mock drafts. We're just going to upgrade our players. Look at our rankings. Look at some of these dev traits that may be revealed. Let's look at DeAndre Whitfield. He's our... Didn't know he had a twin there that were conjointed together. But he's still hitting. Juan Hicks should be revealed. And he's still hitting. So most likely Van Buren, everybody else, probably still going to be hitting. Okay, yeah, so all the rookies are probably still hitting. So auto upgrade everybody. Move on to week 7 against the New England Patriots. Look at our rankings. Top 4 offense. Panthers 5-1. Falcons fall to 4-2. And we improve or fall. Do we go up or do we fall? Are we going to lose or are we going to win? We lose. We go to 4-2 after the bye week. Bye week has not been my best friend. When we're playing well and it's the bye week, that's when you know everything's finna go downhill. That's when you know you're finna see some baby back. 45 yards for Russell Van Buren, looking like Deuce McAllister out there. Grant is outplaying Chris Olave and Devontae. I wouldn't say it's more so outplaying. It's just corners have to guard the other two, and then they're leaving Grant open. You know, Niles Wilkins with the sack, Brian Brzee, and Isaiah Foskey. So the D-line getting at it. And then DeAndre Whitfield gets his first career pick. Group A remains perfect. 4-2. Not bad. Not bad. Especially with the Panthers and the Falcons. The Falcons are starting to slip up. 2-4. Indianapolis Colts. Can we beat them on the road like they did in the Super Bowl? What year was that? What year was that? Drew Brees got his Super Bowl ring. 2008, 2009. But we lose a close one to Anthony Richardson and the Colts. Van Buren with a touchdown. Our fullback's getting some touchdowns. Josh Downs, man, went crazy on us. 3 catches. Man, dude averaged almost 40 yards a catch. Big game for Devontae Adams. So on a little bit of a 2-game losing streak right now. Defense couldn't get any turnovers. But we're still over 500. That's all that matters. We're over 500. We still give up. We're second in the division. That gives us a chance to hopefully make the playoffs. Panthers running away with the division. Oh my God, man! We finally get a running back and he dislocates his ankle. Can't be serious. Why? Brian Robinson. Take me to clear difference. Derrick Henry. I'm doing it. For 5 games. We had an open roster spot. That's why we have them open roster spots. Derrick Henry is going to come in. And for the next 5 games. He's going to start. Finally get a running back that looks like he's going to go over 1,000 yards and they injure him. Game knows what they be doing, man. And we lose our 3rd straight game. Because we don't have our running back, right? Another close one, though. We're not getting blown out. But look at that. 59 yards rushing. Can't run the ball. Derrick Henry only averaged 35. Hamilton, the touchdown. We may just have to go with Hamilton. He knows the system. Use Derrick Henry as a power back. He's old now. Ayamada, Foskey, both had sacks. No field goals made. Couple of punts. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Hamilton as a starting running back. He's played really well as a running back, too. But we brought in Derrick Henry. Had a roster spot open. Going to remain the backup. But going to get the start to Hamilton. He deserves it. Week 10 against the Bucks. Can't remember if we beat them or if we lost them. I think we did beat them. See if we can sweep them. Get the brooms out, get the dustpans, actually put them back, because we just lost to the Bucks, split the season series with them. We're on a 4-game losing streak after the bye week, and we lost in overtime, and we lost in overtime, and we lost in overtime, bro. They outpassed us. 5 touchdowns for Will Levis. Derrick Henry gets a touchdown. Yes, so Zeke gets a touchdown. Chris Godwin played like a god. 10 catches, almost 200 yards, 5 touchdowns. Who is this Chris Hardy dude? And Grant had 100 yards. Our receivers didn't play that bad. Cody T, man, that fullback, bro. He's getting rushing touchdowns. He's getting receiving touchdowns. Marshawn Lattimore, his 2nd pick of the season. But, man, why can't we win games, bro? We need RVB back. We need RVB back. We need him back. 8-1, Jacksonville Jaguars. 8-1, Carolina Panthers. And we're 4-6. It was already set in stone, man. It was set in stone when they put the bye week at week 6. And another close game by a field goal. Geno got in there, threw a touchdown. Derrick Henry, I seen there, had a touchdown. Devontae goes over 100, 2 touchdowns for Grant. Bro. Max Baber and Brizzy, they've been kind of quiet. They've been kind of quiet with the sacks now that they're both superstars. We have a weekly award winner, probably Milner, our linebacker. Yeah, 12 tackles. He had a forced fumble. When does RVB come back? Need to get off this loser streak. We can't go to 4-7. Falcons 7-4. We cannot go to 4-7. We cannot go 4-7. We cannot go 4-7. Okay, we go 5-6. So the game listened to me. 5-6. Get off that 4-game losing streak. Another close game. Now all of our games are too close. They're 1-score games. And we're ending up on the other end of the stick. Derrick Henry went for 73. We're just running back by committee right now until Russell Van Buren comes back. I think he comes back this next game. Sack for Baber. Okay, he heard me talking. He heard me talking. He heard me talking. Now he's starting to get sacks. Marshawn Lattimore with another pick. And oh my God. Eric McCoy. That's gonna really hurt the running game even more. But Van Buren comes back the next game against my beloved Seattle Seahawks, and we go to 6-6. So we get back at 500. I don't care about the 11-1 Jaguars. I don't care about them. They're in the AFC. We'll see y'all in the Super Bowl. But 31-20. Another one-score game. Only 60 yards rushing for us. 2 touchdowns for Derrick Henry. Grant. A $135. We had a sack for Brian Brzee. Okay, the defensive tackles. They heard me loud and clear. They heard me loud and clear. And Van Buren is back. Look at this. The Saints head into Seattle this week. Take on the Seahawks and the 12th man. Okay, yes, 12th man. I am that 12th man. But we get Van Buren back. Why is he down to a 71? Start him. I think I'm gonna keep Derrick Henry. He's been playing well the last couple of games. But at power back, we're gonna keep him and Hamilton, Zeke, Van Buren here, third down back. Yeah, with Zeke. Yeah, we're gonna use all 4 of them. All 4 running backs. We should get Eric McCoy back next couple of games. And look at that. Derrick Henry's gonna play his former team in week 15. Got the Seahawks here. Let's upgrade everybody. Let's see what these rookies are. If I can find them. So Whitfield was our corner. I see the abilities tab. He's playing in the slot right now, so we're going to do slot. Superstar dev corner with our 2nd round pick. Juan Hicks, the guy that replaced Devin Bush. Just a star. And then Van Buren, our running back. Don't see an abilities tab. Don't see an X Factor thing near the overall. Actually, we don't know yet. We just don't know. He's been out the last 5 games. So after this game against the Seahawks, we should know what his dev trade is. But superstar dev corner, we got rid of Alontae Taylor. It was the right move because we drafted that guy. And we go to 7-6. Let's go. 1 win away from our win total of last season. We're scoring a lot of points this season too. We're dropping 30 damn near every game that we win. Geno, perfect on the season, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Russell Van Buren, see, that's what we needed. 70 yards all by himself, touchdown for Derrick Henry, a carry for Zeke, touchdown for Teague. Maybe he's playing like his superstar dev trait that he had as a rookie fullback. Our tight end's having a quiet, great sophomore season. So is Marshawn Lattimore. He has 4 picks on the season. Get some good individual stats here from some of these guys. Practice squad player just got signed. Don't know who Mitch Brooks is. Have fun playing against us. You want to go from the 7-6 Saints to the 3-10 Titans, huh? But I do want to see our running backs dev trait. It should have been revealed. And Van Buren's only a star, so we get a star in him, a star in the middle linebacker, a superstar in our corner, Whitfield. We won't know Fitzsimmons because he's not going to play that much. Hicks is a star. Garcia, we won't know because he's not getting that much playing time. Actually, he's getting a little bit of playing time. Did they put Devontae Adams over Chris Olave? Sons of bitches. And it's funny, our most successful season that we're having right now, Chris Olave isn't going off like he's been doing. But he doesn't have to do it all on his own. We have a quarterback now. We have a running back now. We have receivers. We have a tight end now. Took us the whole rebuild to finally, fix the offense. 3 touchdowns for Derrick Henry. Touchdown for Roman Whiteside. Probably leading our team in touchdowns right now. 2 sacks for Baber. The defensive tackles, they heard me. They heard what I was saying. And Group, there he goes. Misses that field goal. But the last 2 seasons, he's only missed 1. So that may be the one and the only one. As we are 8-6, we tie our win total from last season. We're 85 overall now. If we win this, we are guaranteed to have an above 500 season, a winning season, regardless whether we miss the playoffs or not. We play the Panthers, who are 11-3. If they lose and we win, we have a chance. And then we play the Falcons week 18. So division's still open. But we're probably going to finish 3rd place. We are in 3rd place right now, and we lose. Take a big L, man. Big L. That's not gonna hurt our playoff. I mean, that is gonna hurt our playoff chances. And it came down to a one-score game. We allowed them to score 17. Come on, Zeke. I needed you to tell us their playbook. I needed you to show us their hand signals, man. We didn't even give Zeke the... Oh, yeah, we did. He still plays for the Cowgirls. That's what happened. Touchdown for Grant. Touchdown for Olave. Ram check. Marshawn Lattimore. I think that's 5 picks. And we got 2 games left. 2 big games. Or 1 big game, right? 2 big games, yeah. So we could still go 10-7. Still could go 10-7. But I want that 9th win. I want that improvement. I want that winning season. I want that above 500 season. I do not want to get swept by the Carolina Panthers. Actually, I think we beat them. Let's sweep the Carolina Panthers. And we can't do it. And we can't do it. We're not good enough. Don't tell me after going on a 4-game losing streak after the bye week. First we start 4-1. Then we're going on a 4-game losing streak. 4-game winning streak. All these 4s. And then finish the season on a 3-game losing streak to screw ourselves out of the playoffs. I feel it coming. And we got the Falcons. Even though we're at home, we're losing 17-3 at the half. 3 picks for Whitfield. His worst game of the season. He chooses now. Chris Olave goes over 100 yards, I think, for the first time on the season. Because we have more heads to spread the ball around to. Hugh Banks with a pick as a superstar corner now. I think that's his only pick of the season. And we're either going to finish 9-7 or 8-9. And we're going to look at the standings to see if we may be still in the playoff picture or if we're playing for nothing. We are going to finish 3rd. We're not going to finish last. Damn, the Chiefs, 15-1. But NFC, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are actually the wild card right now. We're in the playoffs. So even if we lose, if the Vikings, I think, who are under us, lose, I think we're in. We just need to control our own destiny. No, we're not the 7th seed, man. How the Vikings, their division must be ass. Oh, that is so... What's the Cowboys record? The Cowboys beat us, didn't they? We don't have a chance. Let's look at this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the Vikings. All right. Where are the Packers? Where are the Lions and Bears? Their division was that ass, huh? And they might get in the playoffs over it. That is some BS. Skull Vikes, bro. That's my 2nd team, but come on. We just got screwed out of the playoffs because of their weak-ass division. Are you serious, bro? Bruh. What? Let's just finish 9-8. To top it all off, we got fired, too. We must have lost that last game. So the first rebuild ends with us getting fired. We don't make the playoffs not one time. But before we close this out, let's look at the top performers. Passing leaders got Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall, Bijan, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Godwin, Laviska Shenault, Max Crosby, Micah Parsons, Aaron Donald, Tre'Davious White, J.C. Horn, and Marshawn Lattimore up there in the top 3. Will tied for first with 5 interceptions. And Deion Henley, Jerome Baker, and Chad Muma. Looking at the stats, we have to go over here to the Saints. The yards. And you don't see a lot of 4,000-yard passing yards anymore. It's usually just only the Cowboys with Dak Prescott, the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, and I think like the Bengals and sometimes Josh Allen. And maybe like the Falcons and Vikings play with Kirk Cousins. But outside of that, you really don't see a lot of 4,000 yards or 5,000 yards, even 50 touchdowns, 40 touchdowns. You don't see that no more here in Madden 24. So I'm glad to see the 4,300 passing yards, 29 touchdowns, 13 picks. Good 2nd season, only 25 sacks allowed from the offensive line. Van Buren, man, he was having a great rookie season before they hurt my dog. 10 touchdowns for Derrick Henry. He came in when that injury happened. Hamilton was okay in the beginning. 3 touchdowns for Zeke. He had his couple of games. Teague, though, 3 rushing touchdowns for the fullback. Longest rush of the season, 9 yards. That the whole issue with the offensive line, the main issue was not being able to run the ball. And that's no matter who was at running back. Got these guys here, RVB, Henry Hamilton. We had the Jamal Williams, the Kendre Millers, and even the Alvin Kamaras could not get it done. We had a fumble for Ezekiel Elliott. Receiving, Chris Olave quietly, and I mean very quietly, went over 1,000 yards because I'm like, man, he's not getting 100 yards receiving. We were throwing the ball more to Whiteside, Devontae Adams, and Grant, but we had damn near 3 1,000-yard receivers. So I like seeing that, how he spread the ball out evenly. So Grant led the team in touchdowns and yards. Chris Olave led the team in catches. And then Devontae Adams led the team in receiving average per reception. So I love seeing that. Almost 50 catches, 500 yards, 6 touchdowns for Whiteside. Great second season for him. Longest reception was Matthew Grant. Offensive line. Great season for Ryan Ramczyk. Well under 10 from the tackle position. Trevor Penning, a good second season. Stevenson, kind of a down year from guard position. Cesar Ruiz, okay year. And then shout out to Eric McCoy, but he didn't play all 17 games. And Saldivari gave up none as the long snapper. He may have just won offensive lineman of the year. Defense, Hicks. How did he lead our team in tackles? Usually our middle linebacker 3, when it was Devin Bush, he was getting blown out by Snow and Milner, but look at them all around, creeping around 90 tackles, almost 100 tackles. So all 3 of our linebackers lead in that department. Budda Baker, he was the quiet one. He was the quiet one in the room. Didn't see nothing out of him this season. Whitfield was a rookie. He had his pick. Marshawn was in the top 3 for interception lead. Wait a minute. It said he had 5. Now it's saying he had 6, so he was the interceptions leader. 2 for Eubanks. Honey Badger had none. Let's get the TFLs way down from last year. We had like 6 guys in TFLs. Only Wilkins, our defensive end. So our Brzee and Baber really fell off, but Baber had 6 sacks again. Foskey 4.5, almost 5. Wilkins with 3. Just not enough pressure. So offensively, I would say it was the running game. Defensively, I would say it would be like the sacks. Not necessarily the pressures, not stopping the run, not the tackles, not the interceptions, but the sacks. And the interceptions, Marshawn Lattimore dominated, and then Eubanks, and then some ones. Forced fumbles, had a lot. 2 for Milner, 2 for Foskey, 1 for Marshawn, 1 for Bobby Snow. We had a block for Budda Baker. We had 2 safeties, Foskey and Hicks, and then we had no defensive touchdown. So special teams doing some things. And then my boy, Group A, he's just a 90% career kicker. Last 3 seasons, 92% or 90%, 90 plus, 91, 94, 92. What a kicker. And I don't even think he won kick of the year not one time. Robbed, screwed, stripped. Well, he didn't really get stripped of anything. But Kerry Ziegler, second-year punter, averaged 53.1. Longest was a 72. He didn't really have that many punts. And then no special team touchdown. Yearly awards. MVP is going to Patrick Mahomes because I think they went 15-1. Coach of the year goes to Doug Peterson. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Brandon Ayuk. No Saints. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Micah Parsons, who is on the Giants. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Quincy Chaney of the Bucks. You got the Falcons there. It would be our division. RVB would have won it if he never missed those 5 games. I'm just saying. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Gil Parham, so the Bucks dominating with their rookies. We got Whitfield at 7. We got Juan Hicks at number 8. Best quarterback goes to Bryce Young. Whitfield at 7. Running back goes to K9, Kenneth Walker. We never had any running back in the conversation. Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver of the year. We got Matthew Grant at 7. No Chris Olave, no Devontae Adams, but my boy Matthew Grant. Offensive lineman, give it to him, man. Saldivari. Eric McCoy at 4. Saldivari at 5. Quinn Miners wins it on the Eagles. D lineman goes to Micah Parsons. Linebacker goes to Jalen Phillips, a different Jalen Phillips. DB goes to interceptions leader. He had 6, not 5. Marshawn Lattimore. And the best kicker, I'm glad it's my Hawks. But come on, man. Group A deserved at least one. So we never made the playoffs. We're going to simulate, though, here to the Pro Bowl. See if we have any Pro Bowlers representing the New Orleans Saints, the Who Dat Nation. Can we look at the Pro Bowl? So the final Pro Bowlers. Whitfield makes it as quarterback 3. Okay, didn't expect that. I feel like our fullback got snubbed. He had some receiving touchdowns. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. He really played well when Russell Van Buren went down with the injury. Grant makes it over our 2 top wide receivers. So, I mean, if he gets like a star dev trait, what a nasty trio of receivers we would have, and we could have been able to continue. Lyman, I would say Ramczyk deserves one, and he was snubbed. Straight up, snubbed. Our defensive tackles both made it last season, not so much this season. Lattimore should be cornerback 1. I'm sorry, J.C. Horn. This is a Panther thing. Come on, bro. I didn't even count how many. And Group A never made one, I don't think. So we had some Pro Bowlers. We'll see if we have any dev trait upgrades. We have to go do it from this screen since we're not a coach on any team, or No Vision Duncan is not a coach on any team. Looks like Whitfield stayed as a star. Let's see if Grant went up to star because he was a normal dev. So yeah, Grant went up to star Pro Bowl season. Looks like nobody on the D line. Looks like Brazil went down. Baber kept his superstar. All of our linebackers are still star. Lattimore got his X factors. Was he an X factor before?
This is the development trait. This player.
I think he just got that. Yeah, he did. NFL interceptions leader and DB of the year. Marshall Lattimore, new X factor. And look at the trio of corners and the trio of receivers that we have. Man, I wish we had more time with this team. Garcia, we don't even know what his dev trait is.
Hidden.
So we'll just take a sneak peek at it. Didn't I say it? You might just have a superstar dev player there just sitting there buried on the dev chart. He's never going to come out of hiding. We drafted a superstar dev free safety that would have eventually took over the place of the Honey Badger. And then we got a superstar dev corner. What a nasty secondary we would have had, man. Buda Baker, Group A was like the best kicker. And we had another hidden dev as the defensive tackle. I want to see X Factor. I want to see X Factor. Computer. This is the computer pick. So he was just a star. But this team, and we'll go to the Super Bowl before we wrap this up. Is it going to show the recap of the season? It's not. So how do we look at a recap? I guess we can't. Go to league history, right? Yeah. So the Super Bowl champions were the Buffalo Bills. They get their first Super Bowl MVP, Josh Allen, the cover star of Madden 24. You got Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Doug Peterson, Coach of the Year, Lamar Jackson, Offensive Player of the Year, Max Crosby, Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year overall was the Buccaneers running back Quincy Chaney. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, Bucks again, because they're in our division. Middle linebacker, Gil Parham. But, I mean, first rebuild, in the history books. New Orleans Saints. I actually have fun with this one, even though we failed to make the playoffs. I didn't win when we had the Derek Carrs, the Michael Thomases, the Alvin Kamara's. We didn't get the job done with them. But we found a franchise quarterback. Couldn't never get the running game going. I don't know if that's just a Saints playbook thing where you just don't get a 1,000-yard rusher, which is crazy because they still had Alvin Kamara on the roster. Maybe it was that first season because he was suspended the first 3 games, and then we just couldn't get the ground running after that. Michael Thomas couldn't even get 1,000 yards, but the ball went mostly to Chris Olave. Chris Olave was very consistent. We drafted really well, drafted some superstars. We rebuilt the linebacker core, rebuilt the defense, made the defense even stronger, even though we got younger. But we made the defense really strong with all those depth traits. And the offense just started to get to where we wanted it. But ultimately, we didn't get the job done. No Vision Duncan, Dennis Allen did not get the job done here in the Saints rebuild. That'll wrap it up for the New Orleans Saints realistic rebuild here in Madden 24. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. I'm out of here. I'm gone. Peace out. Dunk Squad.